Before I get started here, I just want to say a couple things. I gave some remarks at the Starkville High School service they held. It was a class act. I was really proud to be a part of that. As a local Starkville resident, grew up here in Starkville, I'm proud to be a part of this community, coming back home, attending that type of service at Starkville High, and then coming here and seeing all y'all, the different faces, different groups. I'm really proud to be coming back to this community and being part of that. Distinguished guests, students, family members, service members, veteran organization members, and most importantly, our military veterans. On behalf of Mississippi State University and the GV Sonny Montgomery Center for America's Veterans, I want to thank you for inviting me to this special service. I'm truly honored to be here. As I said this morning, today marks an extremely important day for all of us across the country. As most of us know, over 100 years ago, World War I ended and began a tradition of celebrating and recognizing the service and sacrifice of all of our veterans. First referred to as Armistice Day, a day to recognize the service members who fought in that war in World War I, Veterans Day soon became a day to recognize those that had served in all of America's conflicts. On this day, our nation remembers the sacrifice of those veterans. From the Battle of the Bulge to the Battle for Fallujah, our veterans have borne the cost of freedom and have stood watch over our peace. We're grateful to the men and women who have borne this cost and have fought for our freedom. And while we are grateful to these valiant heroes and use Veterans Day to amplify this recognition, it must be in our everyday behavior and actions that we remember these true heroes. Veterans Day marks the beginning of what should be a year of remembering and celebrating the service and patriotism to our veterans. I've had the pleasure of attending local veteran and military organization events and sharing stories and memories with some of what I like to refer to as our older veterans, including many World War II veterans. I've come to realize that I'm extremely fortunate to have the opportunity to share in their special brotherhood and their camaraderie. These are true national treasures, and we owe them all the debt that can never be repaid. And so as American citizens, I urge each and every one of you to remember through action and behavior the service that these veterans have given. I urge all of you to go to these men and women in uniform and shake their hands and give them a word of thanks. I ask you to consider volunteering at a veterans hospital or at a veterans nursing home. I encourage you to work with your local veterans group to help support the veterans and those troops in the field. Remember, we also have to support the families that are here at home. Again, I want to remind you that Veterans Day, remember Veterans Day and veterans through action and behavior. As we look back at those that have served with pride and duty to their country, we see a new generation of men and women that, much like their parents and grandparents, have now vowed to make similar promises to duty, honor, and country. Since September the 11th, 2001, these new soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines are writing a new chapter in the history of this great country and its fight for freedom and peace throughout the globe. These young men and women are once again serving the cause of freedom and peace around the world. At this moment, more than 1.5 million Americans are on active duty serving for that cause. They are our finest citizens. Through their sacrifice and their duty, they're making this nation safer and more free. And they are earning the proud title of veterans. And while most of our heroes return home to their moms and dads, brothers and sisters, wives and husbands, sons and daughters, there are others that are asked to make the ultimate sacrifice, never allowed to truly return home. And while we are often saddened by the tragic news of a soldier losing their life, it is often distant and remote. The pain and agony is understood but not felt. At least not until it hits home and the community loses a loved one. Just as recent as March 2008, our community was harshly reminded of the ultimate sacrifice that some of our heroes made. So while today we remember the millions of men and women that have served our country, we pay special tribute to our hometown national treasure, Corporal Taylor McDavid. Corporal McDavid, a tank operator with the Army's 1st 64th Armored Division, died in March 2008 when a suicide bomber detonated explosives in Baghdad, Iraq. We will never be able to repay the debt we owe to Corporal McDavid and his service to his country. But we can all challenge each other to remember this brave soldier and the others that have served our country through behavior and through action.